everyone and welcome back. Today I'll be showing you how I achieved this beige nude autumn look. I used a lot of browns, beige, golden shades and matte textures. So if you want to see how I achieved it, keep on watching. I'm going to start with prepping my lips with this lip balm by Isana. I think it's a German brand and I bought it in Riga last summer. It's one of the most beautiful lip balms. They're very moisturizing and I think it has vitamin E in there. And I'll follow with a face primer. I normally don't use primers very often, but if I want to go for a more polished look and I want my makeup to stay longer, I would probably use primer before. So I'm using my Max Factor FaceFinity primer. Been using it for a long time already. Still pretty much like it. I'm going to use it only on my forehead, maybe a little bit on the cheeks. Somehow, I think it has a silicone in it, and I'm not a big fan of. In general, primers have silicone in there, so that's why I'm using it quite rarely. But it does make a difference. So this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna do over here. For foundation, I'm going to use my favorite foundation by Lancôme, Ton Miracle, in number 10. I think it's the lightest shade. Since I never use fake tanners on my face, in winter I'm pretty pale, so I will always use the lightest shade. This is the perfect match for me, so I'm going to use a mirror. So probably you need like so little of it. We're going for the very natural nude look, and we don't really need that much foundation. Probably better to finish up with some powder or concealer. So I'm taking my buffing brush by Real Technique in number 301. Loving this. I use it all the time and it's perfect for basically for every type of foundation. Has a very gentle bristle, so it doesn't really irritate your skin. I'm gonna do this. This foundation has quite a light coverage, but it's quite buildable. It has an amazing this porcelain finish, which I love, especially in the winter when your skin can look a little bit dull and, you know, lack of luminosity or something. And then this foundation is really, really nice. You can see it gives such a brightness to your skin that I don't really need to use special brightening concealer under my eyes. So I'm just going to use this concealer by Bobbi Brown in Beige, and I'm just going to pat a little bit under my eye area, like just to conceal a little bit dark circles, like only in the corner of my eye because their skin is so thin and it tends to be kind of bluish color. Most of the time the foundations, if the foundation is really good, it does the job, kind of like really brightens up the whole area. So I just use this concealer. It's quite creamy, but it also have a, like quite a thick texture. It's one of the best concealers actually on the market. Okay, I'm going to set under eye area with Rimmel powder, Stay Matte, like this. You know, I love this matte powder a lot. It's very easy to apply. It doesn't cake. It's simply so transparent. Just going to do a little bit of here, maybe on my forehead a little bit. You see this foundation by Lancôme. It has quite a dewy finish, but it also very, I don't know, it feels like it keeps my T-zone from getting oily. So I don't really use much powder when I use this Ton Miracle. So this is a good thing because I don't really like using powders. I feel like your face looks so, you know, done. Okay, now we go for the eyes. I'm going to prep my eyes with Urban Decay primer. It's eyeshadow primer potion. It's one of my favorite and I use it all the time. So here, here. Then I'm going to be using Bobbi Brown nude palette, Sandy Nude Eye Palette. Looks like this. Beautiful eyeshadows. A lot of champagne, gold, beige. Love this palette very much. Okay, I'll start with this shade called Cream, and I'm going to this one, and I'm going to use it all over my eyelid. Just to, it's sort of like a setting powder for the eye. It doesn't really have the color. As you can see, it just does nothing basically, but it does kind of makes for a nice base. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be using this shade in this one in Nude. I believe it's a Nude. Let me see. Yes. Okay, this is a quite light nude beige brown shade. I'm gonna do the same thing with what I did with the cream eyeshadows. I'm gonna be putting it all over my lid, probably not exactly under the brow, but just up until the brow bone. Like this. You can see it's quite light nude brown shade, and it's buildable, but I prefer to continue with a eyeshadow that has a little bit more like pigmented, has a deeper shade, and this will be by Rimmel, and it's in All About the Base. Just going to show you the color. It's kind of the same color, but you can see yeah, I've been using this one, pretty much the same, but it's more pigmented and I just don't feel like doing a lot of build up with the Bobbi brown eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using this one and go into my crease. So it's going to deepen, oops, the color. Anyway, the look is going to be pretty like neutral. So yeah, this is, I'm going to do here a little bit more. Then I'm going to fluff it out all with it. Actually, this is the Bobbi brown brush for foundation, but I use it very often just as a, you know, taking the excess of the eyeshadows or powder or whatever, because I just find this brush very suitable for that kind of need. Okay, lower lash. I'm going to be using the Bobbi brown, the same nude color, and this one, and on the lower lash I'm going to be using only this one because I don't want to go for a very strong look. So this one we're going to just bring up a little bit of color under the eye, just gives the eye this deeper look. I'm going to continue with the eyeliner, and it's a pencil eyeliner by Clé de Peau. It's one of my favorite brands. I believe it's Japanese, I'm not sure, or if I'm not wrong, if I were sure. So this is the very nice brown shade, and I'm going to do a little bit on the outer corner of the eye. It's one of the most amazing textures. I've been using it for years. I don't believe I found anything better in respect of how it glides. It's not too soft, it's not too stiff, or it's just really, it doesn't smudge your eyeshadows. I don't know, it's just perfect. And if you want to leave it as a eyeliner without smudging it, it just stays there for a long time. And if you want to sort of kind of make a smoky eyes and smudge it all over a little bit around, it's very easy. So it's just perfect, really perfect. So I'm gonna go a little bit under my eyelash and here. I also think this is the best eye pencil if you want to build up on the color, because it's not very strong, but it's very easy to build up. So I like it, especially when I do it under eye, on my lower eyelash. It's perfect. So the next step is to brighten a little bit the corner of the eye, and I'm going to use this beautiful golden color in this one in chiffon, and simply go in the corner of my eye. And with another beautiful champagne color that is over here, I'm going to go under my brow bone. Also going to dab a little bit my finger here and put in the center of the eyelid for a little glow. and shimmer and sparkle. I don't know if you can see. Now I'm going to do my brows. I don't really do often my brows, something that I don't do, but I think for this nude look the brows are needed. So I'm gonna be using my Bobbi Brown kit in Cement and Birch. Okay, I'm loving it. I'm gonna first brush my eyebrows. I'm gonna be using the darker shade in Birch. It's just like not dark because this one is really light. Probably I'm going to finish with the lighter one. So I'm going just to fill in my brows, nothing very drastic, because I don't really like, it's not exactly me having very defined brows, but depending on the look, since we're going for a very neutral beige look, I think the brows should be like defined better, so the face has more structure, if it's actually correct way of putting it. Anyhow, like more defined, you know, more complete look, because let's say beige tones, they not exactly define your face. Okay, I'm using now the lighter shade, because for some reason I don't really want to finish with the very dark one. I want to have this smooth transition, so probably going to blend. Okay. So I'm gonna do my second eye now, and from that moment on I'm going to be finishing our nude makeup look. Now that we have our second eye done, here how it looks in a semi-finished still stage. Okay, we are going to use as a bronzer some, I say it as a bronzer, like I'm gonna use the beige, this quite deep dark color, and I'm gonna use it as a bronzer, like to define my cheekbones. I'm not gonna use it all over my face as I used to do it in summer. Just going to a little bit go under my cheekbone, because I don't really like bronzers. I just don't feel like it looks natural, but obviously this is the matter of taste and preferences. So gonna do a little bit here just to give a little bit of warmth to the face, because we're having this nude autumn look, so it needs some warmth. Now I'm going to be using one of my favorite products of the month is this Nude Finish Illuminating Powder in number 85. It's the lightest shade. I talked about it in my October favorites. It's just this shimmery powder. It highlights basically the whole face, which is super, especially in winter. I love how it catches the light on the forehead and the cheekbones, and in general it's just like full of this pearl particles in there, and it does make your face look very luminous. Loving it. I'm not sure it will translate into the camera though, because it's very sheer effect. It's not exactly something you will just go and see, whoa, you are shining or you are sparkling. But as an effect, it does the job. loving it. Okay, the blush. I'm gonna be using again my favorite blush of the month is by Chanel in this beautiful peachy color, Espiègle, and our NARS famous blush brush, which I didn't find better yet. Okay, doing it also in a build-up way because we don't want it to be so obvious. It's this nude beige look that is like no makeup look, which requires a lot of work, as actually everything natural. I think that going for a natural look actually takes up 5 minutes, but on the contrary, to look natural and then look good takes like an hour. Okay, it's just suddenly so much light. Don't think you see the color, but trust me, it is enough from the way I see it. Okay, now we are going to curl the eyelashes, which something I also don't do all the time. This is not exactly my habit, but do it now because it does make a difference. Okay, and I'll be using my favorite mascara of late. It's by Max Factor Masterpiece Glamour Extensions 3-in-1 volumizing mascara. I've been using it recently all the time. I don't know, I find it very, very good. I have discovered it quite a while ago, but I haven't been using it. And I started to use it lately, and this is what I'm using, and I really like it. It makes your eyelashes look very, very long, defined, and I like the wand. It doesn't crumble. It's like it stays put all day. I also like that when you take it off, it's very easy to take it off. Like it doesn't leave this dark circles around your eyes. There are some mascaras that takes forever to take off, even if they're not waterproof. They're just so strong. But this one, it's just really, really soft. I'm going to put the second coat because our Nude Look requires, as I said, a little bit of more depth with the shaping the brows and making your eyelashes look super black and thick and long. So I'm gonna be putting a second layer, very thick. Now that I curled my eyelashes, I can see that actually it does make a difference. Maybe I should do it more often. A little bit on the lower eyelash, because we have very little eyeshadows there, definition. Okay, I'm gonna do the second eye. Okay, the second eye is done. Basically, the whole makeup is done. What is left is the lips. You know, I've been using matte lipstick for the past month, and I'd like to finish this look with a matte lipstick by Maybelline in Nude Embrace. It's been my favorite lipstick for the past month, and I think it's just perfect to finish this nude polished look. So I'm gonna be using only the lipstick. I'm not gonna use any lip pencils because I also don't use lip pencils very rarely, and I think this nude shade and like matte texture just doesn't need anything else. So this is the look. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll be making more makeup tutorials in upcoming months. Stay tuned. Bye bye.